Alright, good morning. Happy Halloween Eve to all you ghouls, goblins, jack-o'-lanterns, and such and such and such. Your host and pilot, Uncle B. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are in the Beechcraft V35 Bonanza, the quote-unquote Doctor Killer. We're not going to be talking about the reason why that's named that way. We're going to talk about our departure area here on Long Island once we're in the air, and maybe not so much about what happened with the Salem witch trials, but the story behind the Amityville horror, where it came from. It's quite an interesting story in a way, I guess. I guess it's kind of fitting for Halloween. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to take off from runway 6 here at Long Island, McArthur. Islip is the local town, I guess. Closest town. East Islip. Yep, central. Yeah, so we're going to take off from here. We're going to kind of hang a little bit of a right, intercept our first nav point here, which should be a VOR DME. And then we're going to cruise across here, intercept our second VOR DME right there. And then we're going to head out over kind of close to Boston Bay, I guess, just near the water there. And then we're going to hang a left and land there at Boston Logan, which is the closest airport to Salem, Massachusetts. And then we'll wrap it up for today. Should not be a very long flight, I don't anticipate. So we will wait a few minutes and let everybody get in. Whoever wants to watch. If anybody wants to join. And here is, of course, the route and the server. So, if anybody wants to fly along. Tomorrow we'll be in the A320 with the retro Lufthansa livery. Actual real world. I looked this up. It is a real world route. Maybe not the correct plane, but we're going to go with it. Out of Munich down to Romania. I had to change the airport in Romania because it turns out that the airport I was going to fly to originally is a bit farther from where we want to be, where Castle Braun or Braun Castle is. That is the inspiration for Castle Dracula. And we'll talk a little bit about that once we're en route. All kinds of conjecture and yeah, just a bunch of different stuff. So anyway, we will, if you want to say hello, I'm going to sip my coffee a little bit while we get ready to go. Wait for people to show up in here in the chat before we go. If they so desire, we'll give it a few more minutes. How about 6 minutes, and then we'll spawn in and get going here. It'll give us time to let the sun come up a little bit more. Oh, I should adjust the weather before I forget. We just want a few clouds. Headed on live weather. We want just a few clouds. There we go. That's better. Yeah, we'll go with that. And, oops. Lately, I don't know what's been going on, but lately it seems like my world map has been sticking. When I was putting together the flight yesterday, or redoing the flight for tomorrow, it's like getting the world to turn was not working. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. Anyway, you know what? I need to blow my nose. Hold on a second, folks. Here we go. Much better. So the rest of this week's flights, one on on Wednesday. We got one tomorrow. We got one on Wednesday and one on Friday. No flight this Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday or Sunday. We'll get back into the regular schedule here going into the first full week of November. That will take us into the 11th. Fingers crossed that everything goes according to plan. Everything so far from what I've heard is that everything is on track for release on the 11th. But we will see on the day of the 10th if everything's still going according to plan. But I don't know what time it's going to be released. They probably don't know what time. But hopefully the sooner the better, and then we'll do that flight in the DC-3 going over from Bournemouth over to Normandy. So we'll do that. And hopefully whoever can join will join if they want to, if they can. If not, it's perfectly fine. If you want to fly in the DC-3 or if you want to fly in a fighter escort, more than welcome to. As I put in the Discord, no disparaging comments on Veterans Day. Keep that stuff to yourself. I will not tolerate it. You will be shown the door expeditiously and forthwith, as I like to say. Let me just... All right. A couple people, I think a couple people came in and they were like, oh, he's not flying yet. He's just talking out his backside, so can't be arsed to stick around. A few more minutes and we'll get started, folks. I'm gonna give everybody wants to say hello, have a chat real quick while we're getting ready to spawn in and get ready to go. I've already got the plane kind of set up as far as the weight and the fuel. We got more than enough fuel to get there, I think. So we'll be fine. Don't think we're going to go very high. I'm going to climb to about maybe 4,000 feet if I can. And then and that should be good enough from there. And yeah. Morning, Bex. How are you? Nice to see you here. You guys had some good matches last night on Modern Warfare, the new one. And you had some tough ones that just were not going to go your way, unfortunately. But yeah, it was good. It's kind of crazy hopping between Mick and the trucks and you and Pulse over on Modern Warfare multiplayer. So, but yeah, good stuff. Oh, yeah, tomorrow, same time, 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK. A320neo in the retro Lufthansa livery. Actual Lufthansa route from Munich down to, I think I put it in the Discord. It is, what is it called? It is called Sibiu. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but that's the closest airport to where apparently it's only I think it's 80 kilometers or something. Anyway, it's not very far from where Braun Castle is. The inspiration for Castle Dracula. All right, I think we've waited long enough. Let's go ahead and spawn in. Finish getting everything set up. I got a couple of VORs I got to tune into before we depart. So let me get that plugged in and I'll be back in the chat momentarily. So hopefully everybody's got their costumes ready. Hopefully everybody's ready for trick-or-treating or just treats and such. Today, tomorrow, whichever. Ooh, that's a nice sunrise flight. All right, let's get the, oops. Make sure all of our fuel tanks are set. There should be, maybe it's up here. There we go. And we need some lights on the, I need to turn that on. Oops. First one is 117.20. Transfer. And the next one will be 115.60. Right, there we go. There's that. And let's plug that stuff in down here as well. Just to be on the safe side. There's that. There's got to be a thing for the, I thought there would have been a light for the, there we go. There we go. There's some. All right. There's the throttle. There's the prop. Okay. All right. Oh, let me get back to the chat now. Sorry. Yeah, there were some good, some annoying. Yeah, like you said, absolutely. Let's just get a little bit of flap until we're in the air. Heading. Okay, there's that. We're going to turn on a heading of, once we're in the air, we're clear, we're going to turn on a heading of 073. So not very far off where we're starting from. Oops. There we go. That's a little bit easier to see. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and get going here. Away we go. Why does it say north? We're going more like east. Gotta wait for that time to climb to switch over. To the it may not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it should have switched by now. I would have thought. Oh well. Oh, there we go. Now it changed. All right, and that's on, what did I say? 073. On 073. Oops. This needs to be on 073. All right, there we go. Ooh, that's a nice picture. Let's get that picture right now before I forget. I like that. That's a good picture right there. Then we'll talk about. All right. So apparently what happened in Amityville, this was in the 70s, this guy, we'll just call him Joe, right? That's his, we won't say his old name, it's not important. Or not Joe, Ron, I'm sorry. Ron, yeah, there we go, Ron. He murders his parents and his 4 younger siblings, age, good morning Joseph, age 18 to 9. So he was the oldest of the 5 kids. But he murders his parents and then his 2 brothers, 2 sisters. Now, as the story goes, the family who bought the house, sometime afterwards, they knew about the murders, right? In the house. What do you call it? Their realtor did not try to hide it from them or anything, so they knew. Now this is where the story gets kind of muddied. They say they said that they wanted the house blessed, so they found a priest In the book, the priest's name was changed, and there was all kinds of drama regarding that. Um, so anyway, um, they they don't get the house fully blessed, and then within 30 days they pack up whatever and they leave, or they just leave some stuff. They just take whatever they can take with them, and they leave the house because it's just. They said that they were inundated with paranormal activity, although there was some speculation that they couldn't really prove what what happened, or there was no evidence of anything. The kids still to this day will swear that there was something happening in the house up on the second floor, but there was never any proof per se. The movies have taken the story and kind of run with it, um, to create some uh, you know what's the word I'm looking for? Something, they were trying to drum up some publicity for the movie, in the books and stuff like that. Um, all right, let's go ahead and get ready to change this one. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting. Swap over to our second one. All right, hold on a second. Let me get into my next 065. All right, there we go. So yeah, they the story has changed so much over the years. The guy who committed the murders appealed the entire time. Every uh, every appeal that he made, he came up with some more fantastical story as to what really happened. Um, he had convinced some woman to marry him because apparently she knew about the murders. He had basically told her, and at that time, if they were married, she would not be compelled to um, uh, say anything that would be used against him in the court. Marital privilege or whatever. So yeah, but she said that she was basically forced into it, that they weren't like really in love or anything. It was just a very strange story. But yeah, he died, I think, last year sometime. Uh, but they didn't say what he died from. They said he did pass away. Um, but he was still they gave him like six consecutive life sentences, one for each murder. So he was never going to see uh, the light of day, basically. But he was in custody. He was incarcerated, but they took him to a hospital in Albany, apparently, and that's where he passed away at. So yeah, very, very weird. But apparently, they were allowing visitors at the house. Somebody bought it. It's like in a typical suburban neighborhood. The way it was portrayed, apparently, in the movies, was it was kind of like this out in the middle of nowhere house, to make it sound creepier, I guess. But they said that was not the truth. It was like a typical neighborhood. So, yeah. So there we are. That's the story of that. Very, very weird, very strange. Oh, look at, see, here it goes again. It jumped off. A minute ago we were on the track. I don't get it. Why is it? It's like that keeps happening. I don't understand why that is. We were on the flight path and then all of a sudden it jumps to the left. I don't get it. Something's not right. Oh, we're still heading the correct direction. That's all that matters. We got 60... This might be the longest part of our flight today. 67... Yeah, 67 nautical miles to our second nav point, so yeah. How was everyone? Just fine, Joseph. Nothing's changed since we were in the chat last night. Nothing significant has happened since we last spoke, I can assure you. Much as you may wish that there was something more, some other news, I don't know. Oops, nav lights. I wonder if I turn, let's go to the left just a bit here. Mex is still probably recovering from all the modern warfare shenanigans from last night. Mick's probably recovering from all the trucking shenanigans. He might be lurking. Yeah, we'll keep... I was going to go about 4,000 feet, but we'll just keep it right here at 2,700. That should be fine. It's weird. We're still moving towards it, but you would have thought by coming, let's see, 9 degrees off of where we were, we would have intercepted it by now. Oh, something's weird. Hello, Chris. Clocks went back last night, so you guys are now what, 5 hours? Is it 5 hours? No, 6. Is it 6 hours now? So, UK time? So I know we go back here in like 2 weeks. We'll go back an hour, so it'll balance back out, I think. Only 4 now. Okay, so it's 3 to UTC, 4 to UK, or is it 4 UTC, 4 UK? So you're in line with UTC time. It sounds like. because it was 4 hours to UTC for us. But it'll balance back out because we'll go back an hour. So we'll go back to 5, 4 and 5, I think. Or 5 and 5, I don't know. I can't never keep track of that stuff. Didn't realize you guys' clock was going back an hour. Poor Joseph, he's like, oh, it's still too early. I want to go back to sleep. I didn't even know. Well, I think I knew. I just didn't even like think about it that that would take place today. I heard somewhere about it, but I was like, I totally went. I totally forgot about it. So now it'll be the 4 hours until we go back an hour, and then it'll be back to 5, I think. Mick's probably getting ready for lunch. Oh, Joseph had a nice lay-in. Oh, gee. Don't lay in for too long. You know what's going to happen. Your mom's going to pop into your room and give you the what for being lazy. Get up and get some stuff done around the house. We'll switch to the right team. Oop. Other way. Take the trash out. Help with the dishes. You already got the what for from your mom? There's our little V-tailed Beechcraft. So she's at your nan's house, is what you're saying. Joseph. Well, good. See, then while she's gone to your nan's house, you can surprise her. You can start doing some stuff around the house, clean up a bit. Oh, I know, you're like, no, I can't be bothered. Right, Joseph, you can't be bothered with that. So it's a 4-seater. There's 2 seats right behind the pilot and co-pilot, and there's this area right behind the seats for luggage. So imagine how happy your mom would be if she came home and you got some stuff done. She wouldn't have to worry about it. I know. That's just foolishness, isn't it? That's just crazy talk. Yeah, I always have a hard time when we change clocks and change the time. It's I always feel like I'm not getting enough rest. They always say here in America, you spring forward and you fall back. And when you fall back, you gain an hour of sleep. I don't know if that's ever really true or not, but that's how they always would tell us as kids. Like, oh, you get an extra hour of sleep. Hmm, sure. Oh, you've done your room. What'd you do? Move the dirty clothes from one side of the room to the other, Joseph? Oh, goodness gracious. What about you, Joseph, sometimes? I lifted one dirty sock and I put it in the pile of dirty clothes. I'm done. I can't be arsed to do anything else. It's too much. Yeah. Yeah, you put your stuff in your washing basket, yeah. For your mom to do instead of you taking it down and... Oh, Joseph. Mm-mm-mm. And later on when you try to stream, you know what's going to happen. We'll have a repeat of yesterday in your stream. Ooh, now that looks like... Ooh, I see a bridge. Hello, bridge. Is it high enough that I could squeeze an F-14 under there? See the low bridge. Must be like the train, lower one. There's two high bridges. Looks like regular roadways. The other one, yeah, that looks like a train. Oh yeah, there's a drawbridge. It's a draw right there. Open for ships. Might have to test that out. Get yourself out of bed, Joseph, and go for a walk. You'll feel a lot better. Get you some, yeah, I would suggest getting some fruit, and that'll give you some energy, but I know how you don't really particularly care for fruit. Anyways, can't say another word. That's part of my New Year's resolution. Almost 34 and a half nautical miles. Yeah. I will not say another word. I have to do my New Year's resolution list. I need to start working on it now. Ooh. I forgot you could open the door right there. Uh-oh. So there's no, like, real... The pedals look like... Well, actually, I think you can... Oh, I see. Yeah, you can swing this over, I think. It will lift up and over to the other side. So I think those are actually usable. Oh, maybe, yeah. Look like they're usable rudder pedals over there on the other side. But they just don't have the... They only have one controller. One yoke controller. One yoke. I like this. It's got a little clock there. You can... It's got a... Right, 28 nautical miles, and then we're gonna make it just a slight turn, and heading on 072. Head for the coastline a bit near Boston Bay. Another left, and pull on into Boston Logan. We'll wrap things up. Thank you all for coming in. Even though it's early for young Addies, he's still not quite himself today yet. No wonder why you didn't stream, because I was like, you said you were going to stream today, and I was like, oh, let me see if when I got up, I was checking YouTube, you weren't on, and I was like, oh, I guess maybe other things happened. So now we know. Knowing's half the Addies. G.I. Addies. Turn that off now. Oh, the sun's up. Sip some more of my coffee. Alright. I know Paul said he's not streaming today. I'm guessing Mick isn't either. Unless he's going to do some... Only done an hour on... Oh, it must have been when I was still well asleep. I don't know if Mick's doing Astroneer with Bex tonight. Maybe some Minecraft? I don't know. Who knows? Since he's probably still sorting himself out today. Not heard from the... possible chairman of the board. The co-chairman of the board. There we go. The co-chair. I know the door over here opens, and I think there's a passenger door on that side. They all enter from the... Let me check when we get on the ground. I saw you go. Well, gee whiz, Addies. That's the intent. You get the notification that they go live. You know, if you're tired and you want to go to sleep, go to sleep. It's not the end of the world. You can always watch it on YouTube tomorrow. Flying again tomorrow, and We're going from Munich, Germany down to what did I call it? It's Sibiu in Romania, which is closest to where Braun Castle is. Braun. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I think it's Bran flakes. Let's see. There's two airliners, A319 to A20, A320, 737, F-18 way up there. Okay, Joseph. I mean, you know, it's not the end of the world. If you want to go to sleep, go to sleep. It's fine. I'm not, you know, your rest and health is more important than whatever I'm doing on the stream. I can assure you of that. But oh, wait a minute. I'm breaking my do what you got to do, Joseph. I think the right tank needs a little bit more out of it before we switch back to the left. I was going to sit here and shake my head. Maybe roll my eyes a little bit, you know. Hello, Sue. How are you? Nice to see you here. We're about 40 minutes out of Long Island, New York. Back there behind us somewhere. Here where the Amityville, from where the Amityville horror myth came from. We're on the way to Boston Logan, near that's the closest airport to Salem, Massachusetts, where the Salem witch trials took place. Hello, Skip. How are you? So that's our Halloween Eve creepy sort of stuff. Yeah. Stories of witches. We have of murderous older son killing his entire family. Now, apparently his reasoning for what happened was that he heard their voices conspiring against him. That was his initial defense. Yeah. I think there's approach, but I'm positive there's a ILS localizer DME, but there's not one for approach. Maybe it's supposed to be for military. Well, we'll be fine. Get back to the chat here. Did some 737 flight. Oh, you're talking about the PMDG 737. Yeah, that is a very in-depth. Well, I'm guessing it's somewhat similar to the DC-6. You can make it in-depth or you can make it a bit of a challenge, I guess. Whichever one you feel you can handle. And I was looking, when I got up this morning, I was still kind of half laying in bed before I finally dragged myself out to make some coffee. I was looking for like a procedure checklist on the Junkers 52. Like if we had a engine failure, what's the procedure? I mean, I can kind of guess what it would be, but I would think that would be written somewhere. But I could not find anything, because normally some of that stuff you can find on eBay or maybe on Amazon. Nothing. You don't need to change that. We just need to follow the heading. Yeah, it is, Sue. Yeah, very strange. But the people who bought the house, as I was saying earlier, knew about the murders, so it wasn't like they were misled by their realtor or anything. But they claim, and even the kids that are still alive, the parents died some time ago. But the kids said that there was something in that house, some sort of paranormal activity, but they could never prove it one way or the other, So, very, very strange. Yeah, to murder your entire family in your first offense. Well, first he said it was a mob hit, and the person that he said was responsible for the killings had a rock solid alibi. So yeah, for every story he told, there was so many holes in it that they couldn't help but, everything led to him. There was nothing else that suggested that anybody else was involved. And the only other person that was involved was the woman that he, I guess, convinced to marry him so she wouldn't testify against him in court. Because back then, a wife could not be compelled to testify against her husband. No, Joseph, it's not. Can we just stay on Boston approach? Goodness. What is happening? Oh, we were talking about hello, Infinite Fireman. Um, we were talking about the Amityville, the what what transpired that caused or that he, the oldest of five children, murdered his parents and his four younger siblings, two brothers, two sisters. Oh yeah, yep, flying in the Doctor Killer today. I haven't flown it in a while, so I figured this would be I guess, an appropriate plane for for the flight today. um, yep, that's the person. Yeah, yeah, it's a very like his story. From what I heard, what I read, it changed so many times that the cops just stopped. They he would say another, come up with some other conspiracy of what happened, and um, yeah, very, very weird. But yeah, we're heading to Boston, the closest airport, Boston Logan, to Salem, Massachusetts, where the Salem witch trials took place. Now I heard, yeah, oh yeah, he was like he was hooked on some heavy stuff. He was a major addict. Um, Yeah, so there's no telling. He probably had no sense of reality after a while. Um, but yeah, apparently, in from what I've heard, and this is all stuff that's come to light recently, that the Salem witch trials were based on a lie. And the story goes that these two young girls in the town of Salem at the time were were a couple of troublemakers. They were sisters, if I remember correctly, and so they they were close to getting caught. Whatever it was that they were up to, whatever no good they were up to, they were close to being, you know, caught. And so to detract away from their own terrible behavior, I guess, because back then, yeah, lying is wrong. Yeah, imagine that. That they created the story that they said that there was these witches in town, and they started naming names, and so the town folk apparently, they all turned against these women who, of course they're going to say, well, I'm not a witch, and they touch on it a little bit. They make a joke of it in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Well, if you do this, then you must be a witch, and everything led to them being a witch, and so they were burned. Many of them were burned at the stake, um, and I don't know that there was ever any indication that the young girls had any remorse for their behavior, what they did, that they ruined people's lives in order to spare themselves the any kind of punishment. Because back then it wasn't just your family that might punish you. You might be shamed in the whole town for some time, maybe even for the rest of your life, depending on how terrible you really were. Um, yeah, it's amazing that they convinced enough people that these women were witches, and uh, were practicing witchcraft, and uh, which was more severe than whatever they were up to, for given the time, I guess. But yeah, very, man, yeah. They repeated the lie enough that they convinced the town people. Yep, they're witches. We need to. Yeah, imagine that. It's insane. But that's what happens. You repeat something long enough, and you get people to buy into it. They will, and then there's gonna be those consequences. And unfortunately, the consequence on this one was that people were killed. You know, they no matter how vehemently they defended themselves, nobody believed them. You know. Yeah, yeah, because that sort of thing was, if there was any kind of heresy or anything that was not in the keeping with the religious ideals of the day, you were yeah, you could easily be, yeah, superstitions, yeah, very much so, yeah. And that's something we'll talk about tomorrow when we head to Romania, because there's a lot of folklore and superstitions regarding Vlad the Impaler and all that have become a bit of the history of the area. She turned me into a newt. Yep. I remember that scene. That always cracks me up. But she turned me into a newt. That's how I know she's a witch. Oh, the poor actress, she's just standing there going like, I'm screwed either way, so whatever. I haven't watched that movie in quite some time. Yeah. Yeah, I got bring out your dead. But I'm not dead yet. Oh, it's okay. He will be soon. Yeah, very. When I read that they, this whole thing was what had really happened, I was like, wow, that's insane to think that they had that kind of power to convince people enough. Yeah, very sad. 7 adverts hold that story. Oh, we're all right. Well, I do appreciate everybody coming in today. We're fast approaching Boston Logan here. We're gonna right about out here somewhere. We're gonna hang a left and line up for our approach into Boston. We'll wrap things up for the day. We'll be back tomorrow in the A320 in the retro Lufthansa livery. Heading from Munich to Subiu, somewhere in Romania, which is, there's another airport that they're still constructing now. It's in the sim, but I could not find anything anywhere for any kind of approach plate or any other information. So when I looked it up, it turns out that they're still constructing the airport. So I'm like, oh, it's great. It's in the sim, but it's not there in real life. That doesn't help me none. So yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. But luckily I had the time yesterday to kind of check my homework and make sure I was going to the correct airport. Trying to find that information, sometimes you Google it and it takes you somewhere else, and it's like, wait a minute, no, that can't be right. 8 commercials. Okay, sorry about that. I think the gift subs that Therese gave have expired, because I'm down to 4 subs instead of 8. So those of you who had a gifted sub, that's probably why you're seeing the adverts now. The gifted subs have expired. I do appreciate any subscriptions if you're able to. It's greatly appreciated, but not required to be a part of the channel here. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so we'll do that tomorrow. That should be about just under a 2-hour flight from Munich down there. And then no flight Tuesday. Wednesday we'll do a flight in the Junkers 52. No flight on Thursday. We'll be back on Friday in the Cessna 208. We'll be in South America, down in Peru. We're gonna take off from a little airport in the mountains and make our way think to the South Pacific coast of Peru, towards that way. So she has some nice mountain scenery for the flight. Oh, wow! That's talk about homework. See, that's the stuff that people put into their streams that lots of people don't seem to particularly appreciate. Oh, nice. I'll have to definitely catch that. Always a good educational stream. I'm guessing I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. I caught part of Captain Arish and Allison's. I guess they made it all the way to Oakland and landed and probably went right to bed. Yeah, they completed the trip. They took off from Oakland. They landed at Oakland yesterday or early today, whichever the case may be. Oh, look at that. Looks like a fancy school yet. And you got baseball fields, look like a track and field, football, maybe a soccer pitch. One and done, no multi-leg. Oh, yeah, multi-legs can be a bit, I think, a bit challenging trying to. Yeah, yeah, quite amazing that they did complete the journey that Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan were not able to complete, as they went missing, never to be found. So yeah, very awesome. Got to fly with them a little bit on their journey. Not yesterday, but when they were over in somewhere in Africa, I think, something like that. Oh, never left Lake Ontario. Oh, so yeah, because you followed their path until they sink, I think is what happened. That's why it was multi-leg. All right, real quick, we are on a final approach of 332, but I think it's more like 331. Yep, 332, 331. Thereabouts. Yeah, looking forward to that. 4 hours of research. That's awesome. I like that. I can totally appreciate that, because you're trying to make it educational and also fun, and all the things that you do to try to entertain the audience and inform people. Yeah, kind of a bit of a thin week this week. Only 3 streams, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll try to get things back to normal the following week. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we do that flight on the 11th and then DC-3. Bournemouth over to I don't know where in Normandy yet, but that's the plan. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're going to have to start slowing down. Let's go ahead and call it. So we should be able to call into Boston now. Maybe. There it is. I think we're at just about a near perfect height. We're supposed to be at 4,000 coming in, but let's see, are we going to be... Oh no, we're fine. I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. Nice to see you here all on this Sunday. I'm sure some folks will be watching their American football later today. Possibly. Maybe. Who knows? Alright, let's go ahead and take off that. Take off that. A little bit of flap down so we can start slowing down. Yeah, I think he is. Plus, with the time change that he may have forgotten about, he might. Plus, he might be in dad duty right now, doing the dad duty. So. Yeah. All right, we're almost there, folks. Do make sure you have your Addies with you when you depart the air. Oh! Well, I'm glad you're here, Mick. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah. Joseph, you were part of the craziness, trying to say, telling everybody you're going to keep an eye. Yeah. You were contributing to part of it, Joseph. Yes. He was busy. He still is. So yeah, I told you he was probably doing dad duty stuff. Time change might have just about caught him out. I don't know. I would say Pulse's stream was, or his chat was crazier with that Noobs guy giving the score and the play-by-play. It's like it was like Addies all over again on his FIFA. Oh, the so and so hit the crossbar. Oh my goodness, so and so's injured. I'm like, good lord. I don't need the whole play-by-play. Oh, 11 viewers. Well, thank you all for coming in. Yeah, I was starting to get a little on my nerves. I think I had to basically hide the chat for a little while until I had something to say or whatever. I don't know what the I don't know what possesses people that we need to play by play. It's just like the folks that jump into Joe's streams when he's on the trains. Oh, I'm going to call every station. You know, no, I don't need you to call every station. No, but I want to. Well, you don't need to. It's just a game. You know, but I have to be the conductor, otherwise. You do your own head in most of the time, Joseph. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. That's a bit of flat down here. Losing altitude a little too fast there. Well, it's his stream, Joseph. Let me concentrate on landing before I start looking at stuff and miss my approach and screw up this landing. I'm going to have some choice words to say. Too early on a Sunday morning for... Well, it's only 8:30, but still, it's too early in the morning for that kind of language. Why is it 321 seems to be going all the way over there? I picked the wrong... Maybe I'm looking at the wrong plate. So the heading's over there, almost like for that runway. Oh, that's alright, we're gonna land right here. This is what we picked. It's fine, Cartel. I got it. Thank you, though. It's perfectly fine. This isn't my first rodeo, but thank you for your concern. Appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by, or thank you for the chat. I haven't flown this plane in quite a while. I think I've flown it once before on the stream, but so kind of getting used to its little quirks, I guess. second here on the ground, and then we'll catch up in the chat. Seems like this thing is way offline here. Boy, the lights seemed like they were floating there for a second. That was strange. Maybe it's because it's Halloween Eve. Airport was playing a little trick on us. There we go. Probably not my best landing, but we made it. Never really pull that off. Any dares get ignored on approach, I'm afraid. I've flown a DME ARC. I'm not in real life, obviously, but I've flown it in the sim. It's not, you know, it's not always perfect, but I do okay with it. And you know. Anyway, welcome to Boston Logan International. Local time is 8:35 in the morning. Thank you all for joining in today. We understand and appreciate it. It's Sunday. It's Halloween Eve. So hopefully you enjoy your Halloween fun this weekend, or today, tomorrow, whichever one you are going to do. Sergeant Staff, are you? I don't see you in the air. Oh, maybe you're not on the same server as me. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 11:10 UTC, 11:10 UK. Oh, you're in Alaska. Nice. Oh, an instrument. Yeah, I've done it on. I've done it in the sim, but just, you know, did the best I could with it. Yes, Joseph, today is Halloween Eve. Tomorrow is Halloween. You're right. Absolutely. Alright, we're going to go find a parking spot over here. Whoa, we just made it with just enough gas. Enough fuel in the tank. Ooh, you know what it was? I think I needed to switch back over to... Probably has a little bit more. Nope, they're both running low. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like I said, it's been a while since I've flown this plane. I think this would be a good opportunity to bring it out and fly it. But yeah, I think I was coming in a little too steep. Should have been a little bit flatter. That's okay, we made it. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow in the A320neo in the retro Lufthansa livery, departing from Munich, heading down to an airport in Romania, Sibiu. I'm probably butchering that name or not even pronouncing it correctly. It might be Zubiu. I don't know. Anyway, it's the airport closest right now to where Bran Castle, I think it's not Bran Castle, the inspiration for Castle Dracula from the Bram Stoker novel. Based on the descriptions, they think that's the closest one that looks in real life to what Bram Stoker was describing in the novel. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about some of the myths and folklores and all that kind of fun stuff once we are in the air and on our way. Should be about under 2 hour flight. About an hour 40 is what the Lufthansa says. It's the real life flight takes about an hour 40 minutes. So we will try to do that as best as we can, if possible. I don't know what route they fly. I just know they do a flight, but it doesn't show the actual route for the flight. And on their website, it may change, from one day to the next depending on the weather. So we're gonna try live weather tomorrow. We'll see how we get on with that. Coming into Romania. See if it's snowy or not. Yeah, that's what we got coming up tomorrow. Hartel Shaban, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And normally I don't stream on Sundays. This was just a thing I threw together for Halloween Eve. We flew out of Amityville, Long Island, New York, where the Amityville horror story came from. Here we are in Boston Logan, which is the closest airport to Salem, Massachusetts, where the Salem witch trials took place. All based on a lie. Yeah, we'll park it here. We'll call it a day. Having a little tour of Boston Logan International. So over there are some more passenger terminals. There's the tower. Over there is an aircraft. It looks like an A320 or maybe an A319. Supposed to be Lot Airways, yeah. A couple Lot airliners. Probably could have gone down to the other end of the runway that we landed on and found a better way to our parking spot. That's all right. Oh, there's our parking spot right there. I couldn't imagine trying to. Is it worth getting? Moist sheet ba. Okay. Um, it's not bad. You know, it's a Coronado, and many people are sworn off from Coronado. It's okay. I don't mind it. I guess it just depends on if you're looking for. If you're on the Xbox and you're looking for general aviation, maybe it's worth it. But I would. Yeah, it's hard to say. A lot of people are very particular about their feelings about Coronado right now. Um, I think it's okay. It's unique because of the design and all that, but no, I've not. It does not have the bug. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It seems like it's okay. Um, no, I've not gotten the new Typhoon. Typhoon yet. It's on the wish list. Uh, I'm waiting. I may buy more stuff after the 40th anniversary update comes here in a couple weeks, but right now I'm not add anything new to the hangar here on the Xbox side. I think with the 40th anniversary stuff coming here in a couple weeks, there should be more than enough, I think, to deal with that. We'll have more than enough to do. All right, let me turn my lights off. Oops, other way. No, when it comes to fighter aircraft, I generally prefer to fly the F-14. There we go. All right. Let me put my time in, because I preloaded my stuff over here on. Hopefully it's saved. I didn't time out. 11:20 to 12:28. Submit. There we go. Perfect. I'll put my picture on there a little bit later. Yeah, I'm not in the market. You know, like you land the 787 on the smallest runway as well. Okay. If that floats your boat, more power to you. Anyway, that will do it for today, folks. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12 or 11:10 UK. It's all one right now until we change our time here in the United States. I think it's going to be a couple weeks from now, and you're on the Xbox. Okay. So yeah, we'll do that. A320 going from Munich down to a little airport there in Romania. I will see you. Oh, thank you, Sue. See you all tomorrow. Do enjoy the rest of your Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, early. You're welcome, Joseph. Do enjoy the rest of your Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, early Monday. You know those time zones are changing. Times are moving forward. Times are moving back, it seems. Who knows? It's all craziness. I have been your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until tomorrow, peace, live long and prosper.